Today's National Football League game is being brought to you by New York Life Insurance Company and your local New York Life agent, and by Ford and your Ford dealer, who bring you the Better Idea cars for 1971, and by American Airlines. It's good to know you're on American Airlines. And by Schlitz. When you're out of Schlitz, you're out of beer. The Dallas Cowboys San Francisco 49ers game will continue after this brief intermission.
If I looked like this, I'd get the ho-ho-ho. I'd like to get rid of some of the gray, but not all of it.
Announcing Grecian Formula 16. It's practically clear. As easy to use as hair tonic. No mess. Use it every day until you slowly, gradually get rid of as much gray as you want. Some of it or all of it. Then once a week or so to keep it that way. Grecian Formula 16. You control how much gray you slowly get rid of. Some of it or all of it.
You cut yourself like that before the big dive tomorrow, you'll draw sharks.
Sharks?
Use Edge Protective Shave.
I use this.
Call that protective?
Edge is a gel.
This gel lubricates better than that foam.
You get a smooth shave?
Yeah. And I hardly cut myself anymore. It's that lubrication, I guess.
No nicks then, no cuts.
And no sharks.
Edge Protective Shave.
Highlights of the first half where San Francisco and Dallas are tied 3-3. John Brodie throwing to Gene Washington, who had gotten behind Herb Adderley. Washington down at the Dallas 10. These are the points for San Francisco. A field goal by Bruce Gossett of 16 yards. That's still first quarter. Dallas on the attack. And this has been typical. This is Duane Thomas. And he's been spectacular in the first half, as he has been throughout the year. Thomas again, and this has been the basis of the Dallas attack. Control the ball, run it throughout most of the first half, and that's what they've done. And with Thomas, they've been able to do it successfully. Morton to Ditka, but San Francisco held short of a first down. Mike Clark got a field goal. These are Baltimore highlights now, courtesy NBC Sports. Oakland fumble, and Baltimore recovered. This was the first big break of their game in Baltimore, a game won by the Colts 27-17. John Unitas hitting here Eddie Hinton, who almost gets in for a Colt touchdown. And we'll take another look at that same play, Unitas to Hinton, from the end zone and in slow motion. Unitas just lobbing the ball over the top of the linebacker, Bill Lasky's head. Looked like Hinton might be able to get in. But on the next play, this again is that same play shown from behind the quarterback. Norm Bulash, the fine Colt rookie runner, bangs in. And again from the end zone, the same Colt touchdown. At that point, the score was 10-0 Baltimore. Here's Bulash again. And again he gets in. He's had a great 2 weeks. Same play from the end zone. Bulash again, the rookie from TCU. At that point, the score was 20-10. Now here's George Blanda throwing to Warren Wells for an Oakland touchdown. Darryl LaMonica had left the game as he pulled a groin muscle. Here it is again. Blanda to Wells. Score of that game, as we said, was 27-17. Let's take a look at our first half statistics, where the score here at Kezar Stadium is 3-3. Dallas has 10 first downs, San Francisco 6. Total yards, the Cowboys have the edge by 10. Rushing yards, a big edge, 119-35. Neither Craig Morton or John Brodie have been outstanding throwing in the first half. Brodie is 7 of 15, Morton just 3 of 14. Dallas has accomplished, though, one thing that they set out to do, and that is control the football. They've run 13 more plays in the first half than the 49ers have been able to put on. 39-26. Penalties have not been a factor. Dallas penalized 3 times for a total of 35 yards. San Francisco 3 times for 25 yards. Neither team has lost the ball through a fumble. Although Dallas did fumble twice, they managed to recover both of them themselves. So statistically speaking, that's the score. On the scoreboard, it's the 49ers 3 and the Cowboys 3. And both the 49ers and the Dallas Cowboys have returned from their halftime sessions. And I'll return you now to Ray Scott.
Well, Pat, you're just going to return to me for a second because I have a question for you, if you don't mind.
Not a bit.
Okay. In view of the low-scoring first half, the inability of either team to get into the end zone, with the Cowboys, by the way, extending that tremendous streak of now 23 consecutive quarters without allowing a touchdown. What do you think the coaches might do to try and get more points on the board?
I think possibly the 49ers might have made some changes at halftime. There's Craig Morton. I think they might have changed some few minor portions of their attack to try to put some points on the board, but I don't think Dallas will, because I think they feel that they've been so successful, as Dick Nolan now is huddling with his team before the second half starts. They think they've been so successful with the running attack. I think that's what they'll continue to do.
And by the way, shadows are already moving onto the playing field here at Kezar Stadium. The lights were turned on before the game started, but with all due credit, we must say that the lighting here, if it really is needed, is not very good. Dallas will be kicking off. The 49ers will have number 24, Jimmy Thomas, number 45, Bill Tucker, as their deep men. Mike Clark will kick off for the Cowboys. Score is tied at 3-3 as we get ready to start the second half. There's Mike Clark. He has a following wind. Jimmy Thomas at the 3. Out across the 25 to the 26-yard line. The kicker, Mike Clark, helped bring him down, along with Cliff Harris, number 43, and Richmond Flowers, number 45. So the 49ers, with John Brodie at quarterback, will start from the San Francisco 26-yard line. Now receivers will be anyone who breaks out to the left and looks back toward the quarterback will be looking into the rays of the sun. Witcher right, Washington left, Cunningham, and Willard, the running backs. Willard is met behind the line by number 66, and that's Big George Andre. Result, if anything, a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down and about 11. Andre, Lilly, Pugh, Cole, Edwards, Jordan, Howley, Adderley, Green, Waters, and Renfro. That's the Dallas defense. This is Cunningham, and a marker is down. Preliminary signal indicates the infraction by the 49ers. The marker was dropped at the 23-yard line. There was a gain on the play of about 5 yards, holding San Francisco.
I think we're seeing, you asked me about whether or not the 49ers might have changed their method of attack. I think they feel really that they've got to run against Dallas and make them respect the run to make their passing game more effective than it might normally be. But having to and getting it done is something else again.
So back goes the ball on the holding penalty, half the distance to the goal line. The holding occurred at the 24-yard line. It's back at the 12. They, let's see, must reach the 36-yard line, so it's second and 24. Witcher is wide right. A lot of defensive changes now. We don't have a chance to give all of them to you on the part of Dallas. This is Willard. And he's nailed after a gain of just a yard. Bob Lilly. George Andre again. And it'll be third down and 23.
Among other things that Dallas does in a situation like this, when they feel the other team has to pass, is go with 3 rush linemen, just 3 men up front. They put in an extra linebacker. D.D. Lewis is in. They also put in an extra defensive back.
Mark Washington is the additional defensive back. This is third and 23 now. This is Willard. Out to the 19-yard line. It'll be 4th down, and Steve Spurrier comes in. He'll have to punt into the wind with 13 minutes left to play in the 3rd quarter. And the score tied at 3-3.
And a point you brought up a minute ago, Ray. Now, Dallas, their 2 deep men, who are Dan Reeves and Bob Hayes, will be looking directly into that sun that you mentioned a minute ago. It might be a factor as far as San Francisco's receivers were concerned. But now Hayes and Reeves face that same problem.
Spurrier inside the 10. Hayes, fair catch, Dallas 43, and that's where the Cowboys take over 1st and 10. Craig Morton will have Duane Thomas, number 33, as the 1 running back. Let's see who the other running back will be. It'll be Walt Garrison, number 32. His wide receivers will be Rucker, 88, and Hayes, 22. They alternate at tight end between Norman, who is in there now, and Mike Ditka. This is Thomas. A gain to the 40, I think about the 47-yard line. So it'll be a gain of 4. Duane Thomas, let's see what he's up to now. 11 carries, 82 yards. 2nd down, 6, Dallas. Hayes goes out to the right. Jimmy Johnson picks him up. That's Rucker in motion. Bob Hayes. And a perfectly timed block tackle by Rosie Taylor. If he hit him a split second earlier, I'm pretty sure it would have been an interference.
It would have had to be, and Hayes was coming across and had sort of a stride on Rosie Taylor and was getting up considerably higher than Rosie could have. And that's about the only play he could have done and break up that pass. And he did it, as Ray Scott told you, perfectly timed.
It'll be 3rd and 6, and Morton now is 3 of 15 for 29 yards. Rucker lines up to the right, Hayes to the left. The blitz. And Dave Wilcox drops Morton for the loss. Frank Nunley wound up with the ball, but after the whistle had blown. So there's a loss on a play of 6 yards, and it's 4th down.
And it also looks like Morton might be shaken a little bit. He is number 14, and he is leaving limping.
So now the punter, Ron Whidbey, takes over with 11:55 left in the 3rd quarter. Punting to Bruce Taylor and Johnny Fuller back around the San Francisco 20. Great punt. Bruce Taylor at the 16. 20. That's all. And again, the Cowboys covered that punt beautifully. With the score, Cowboys 3 and the 49ers 3. Let's pause for a moment.
Developing and testing new low-pollution gasolines has been part of my job for over 20 years. But even if I were not concerned about cleaner air, I'd still use Union's new low-lead Regular 76 in my car.
You mean reducing lead in gasoline can be good for the air and your car?
Definitely. When we were testing new low-lead Regular 76, we found mufflers and tailpipes lasted 50% longer. Spark plug life was more than doubled. When we reduced the lead by 80% to the low level that car makers recommend for today's cars, we found that critical engine parts wore longer.
So that extra penny a gallon you pay for new low-lead Regular 76 buys a lot more than cleaner air.
It's the best engine life insurance you can buy.
If you're for improving our air and extending the life of your car's engine, drive into any Union 76 station displaying this sign, 80% less lead. Fill up with new low-lead Regular 76 and get the spirit of 76.
$59,625 are here in person. Watch as the 49ers take over at their 21-yard line. A new tight end, Ted Pollock, number 82, is in. And Brodie is reached by the Cowboy defensive unit for the first time today and dropped inside the 15, and it was linebacker Dave Edwards blitzing on first down. And Pat, you were right about Craig Morton leaving the field and being slightly injured, because there's the other Dallas quarterback, Roger Staubach. Loss on that play of 7 yards, 2nd and 17. Washington to the left, Rucker to the right, Cunningham and Willard to the running backs. Intercepted, linebacker Leroy Jordan. The ball was tipped, I believe, as it was thrown, and the Cowboys have a first down on the first interception of the game.
Watch Larry Cole, number 63, and give him just as much credit as Jordan, because it's he who puts the rush on John Brodie and hurries this throw. Jordan beats Cass Banaszak.
So the Cowboy defensive unit turns the ball over. It's Morton at quarterback. Running backs are Thomas and Garrison at the 13-yard line of San Francisco. There goes Rucker in motion. Here is Thomas. Touchdown. Duane Thomas puts the Cowboys in front by a score of 9-3.
What a runner he is. He broke about 5 tackles. Let's look again. Thomas is 33. Garrison is leading, 32. Just see how many times he gets hit. Well, he makes a great cut right there, and somebody got an arm on him. There he breaks one. Now Bruce Taylor has a shot. That's Jimmy Johnson from the other side, who also has a shot. So I guess you could say he really broke 3 tackles and made a great cut on that one run.
Now Thomas has carried 12 times for 95 yards, and Reeves holds for Mike Clark. And the Cowboys have point number 10 on the board. Cowboys 10, 49ers 3, and we'll be back with the Dallas kickoff in just a moment.
A treasure hunt isn't a kid's game when you're living and your life depends on it. Sharks don't play games. Their ancestors must have had quite a feast 250 years ago when a hurricane sank a fleet of Spanish galleons, along with $14 million in gold doubloons and pieces of 8. If you're lucky, you find some of it. If you're even luckier, you live to tell about it. And man, that's when you know what life really is. You only go around once. You gotta grab for all the gusto you can, even in the beer you drink. Why settle for less? When you're out of Schlitz, you're out of beer.
There's Jimmy Thomas back inside the 5, and to his right, Bill Tucker. Mike Clark kicks off. Jimmy Thomas. Yep, he's going to run it out to the 22-yard line. So the first interception of the game leads to the game's only touchdown, and the 49ers now must play catch-up football with 10:40 left to play in the third quarter. Pollock again will be the tight end, number 82. The wide receivers are Washington going left, Witcher on the right. On first down for Washington. Defending was Charlie Waters and Mel Renfro.
If your child is school age, you'd better start doing your drug homework. You'll find a simplified cram course on drug abuse in the Federal Source Book, Answers to the Most Frequently Asked Questions About Drug Abuse. For your free copy, write to National Clearinghouse for Drug Abuse. For drug abuse information, Box 1080, Washington, D.C. Zip code is 20013.
Brodie, 7 of 17, 98 yards, 1 interception. This is 2nd and 10. And there's a first down to Doug Cunningham, or close to a first down. Maybe I was premature. It is a first down. So the 49ers move it out to the 49er 32-yard line.
As long as Brodie is able to do that, as long as his offensive line can keep those Dallas rushers off of him, and as long as he's able to utilize his backs coming out of the backfield and control of some of those Dallas linebackers, then he can have a very effective passing attack. If he has to keep them in to block, then he might be in trouble.
This is Willard. Out across the 35-yard line to the 36. And there it'll be second down and 6. See, I think Brodie was only, how many times was he intercepted during the season, Pat? I'm going to take a look here. I'm not really sure, but I know that
10 times, I think. Yes, 10 times in the regular season. And I think one particular game, New Orleans, I believe, got 3 of them in one game. So it's a rare occurrence.
Second and 6. Fake was to Willard. Intercepted by Renfro. He's at the 30. He's at the 38-yard line. And Mel Renfro turns the ball over to the Cowboys.
Boy, what an outstanding job Renfro has done today, and in the weeks past as well. Fake is to Willard. That's to try to hold the linebackers. Looked like the ball hung just a little bit, but Renfro had him covered just as well as you can cover a man.
Gene Washington was the intended receiver. Back to live action. First and 10 Cowboys at the Dallas 38-yard line. This is Hayes in motion. And here goes Duane. Nope, this is Walt Garrison. And he has a first down all the way out to midfield. A gain of 12 for Walt Garrison. There's Garrison coming back to the huddle, and there's the man who turned the ball over on the interception, Mel Renfro. Cedric Hardman moves into the defense now for the 49ers with 8:10 left to play in the third quarter. The Cowboys with a 7-point lead in the ball. First and 10 at the 50. Rucker and Hayes are both left. Duane Thomas, and only about a yard. Charlie Kruger mainly responsible for stopping that play. It'll be second down and 9. Total offense now on the ground, 149 yards for Dallas. And the Cowboys have had the ball 44 plays for 171 yards, 35 plays for the 49ers, 149 yards. But the big statistic, 2 interceptions by the Cowboys. This is second and 9. This is Thomas. Penalty marker down. Preliminary signal holding against the Cowboys, number 73, Ralph Neely.
From Neely's reaction, I think it must have been he that was called. He's blocking down on Cedric Hardman. There he is. And there's his arm out on Hardman's leg. And that's where the flag was thrown, and from his reaction, that must have been the call made by the official.
Tommy Bell gives the signal. The ball is back at the Dallas 37-yard line. It is second and 23. Time left third quarter, 7 minutes, 14 seconds. Cowboys lead 10-3. Leroy Jordan intercepted a pass at the 49er 13-yard line. Duane Thomas scored the touchdown. Thomas is wide left. Hayes in motion left. And the blitz is on. This is Garrison. He's at midfield. He's at the 40-yard line, and he might have a Dallas first down. On second and 23, as Morton eluded the blitz and got the ball to Garrison. And Skip Vanderbunt made the tackle.
It's a screen pass. Garrison is sitting back in the backfield. He just lets the on-rushers sift through and get by him a little bit. A blitz was coming from San Francisco, and about the best call you can make against a blitz is a screen pass. And don't forget that it's Tom Landry, the Dallas coach, that's calling these plays too.
And that, by the way, is a first down. and it's at the 49er 40-yard line. 6 minutes and 30 seconds left in the third period. Here comes Thomas. He's picked up about 6 yards on first down before Bruce Taylor and Earl Edwards made the tackle.
On Saturday, January the 23rd, CBS will bring you the American Basketball Association's 4th annual All-Star Game. The top players from the Western Conference will meet the stars of the Eastern Conference in this game. That's at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, and it's on January the 23rd.
The Cowboys' Duane Thomas has now gained 102 yards in 14 carries. Rucker and Hayes are wide right on 2nd down 5. Thomas, first down. He's inside the 30. There's the signal from referee Tommy Bell. It's a first down. And here comes Pettis Norman now with Tom Landry's next choice. Jim Snydecki comes out, linebacker. Skip Vanderbunt replaces him.
You know, one other effect of having a man like Thomas in your backfield, as much as the Cowboys are able to spring him into the San Francisco secondary. You take Bruce Taylor, for example, who was involved in that last tackle. Thomas outweighs him about 45 pounds. And it takes away a lot of your effectiveness, not only against the run, but against the pass as well.
Hayes in motion. An attempted screen pass. I think Walt Garrison was the intended receiver. Yeah, but it's incomplete. Morton now 4 of 17 for 52 yards. The Cowboys are leading 10-3. 4:44 left to play third quarter.
Again, the Cowboys guessed right in their play call. They had called a screen pass against the San Francisco blitz. At that particular time, San Francisco had anticipated that they might be calling that, and they dropped somebody back to pick up the receiver. It was Walt Garrison.
Now, Hayes and Rucker are both to the right, the wide side of the field. Thomas is a wingback left. This is for Hayes. Penalty marker. Mel Phillips defending.
Not too much question about this. Let's look at it again. Hayes is 22, of course. And watch Phillips hit him with his body before the ball gets there.
Result, it is 1st and goal to go at the 5.5-yard line. And the Cowboys, with a 7-point lead, are in tremendous position right now. Hayes breaks out of the huddle to the right. Tight end Norman is on the left side. And they're not going to snap the ball yet. As I'm sure you guessed, the Cowboys felt, and the officials agreed, they couldn't hear the count.
And that's something that's very vital to an attack like Dallas, when they have so many people in motion and have so many different flankers and so many different individuals set out wide away from the quarterback. It's almost an absolute necessity that you've got to be able to hear that snap count.
Now, Mike Ditka came in, and there are 2 tight ends in the game. Now Hayes is going out. Rucker's replaced him. 1st and goal, 5.5 yards away from the 49er goal line. Hey, this is Walt Garrison. Walt Garrison for the Dallas touchdown. And the Cowboys are on top by 13.
And a great fake by Morton to Duane Thomas is what sets this up. Watch Morton. The fake to Thomas. And Garrison, who was the other setback, is all by his lonesome.
So it's the Cowboys leading 16-3. Mike Clark will try for point number 17. And that touchdown came with 4:35 left to play in the third quarter. Cowboys lead by 14. It's 17-3. And we're going to pause 5 seconds for station identification. (17-3) Cowboys. Will be back with the Dallas kickoff in just a moment.
Wow! Yeah, wowee. How much they charge for a room in this hotel? Where did you hear about this place, anyhow?
My cousin Jessica.
The deodorant heiress.
Paging Lord H.T. McKinsey. Yes, Countess, thank you. Please register.
Velvet. The pen is pure velvet.
Ah, General. We've reserved your usual suite and a suite for your horse, of course. Naturally, sir, you'd prefer a suite with a sitting room.
Huh? Oh, no.
Oh, no, we're not big on sitting. We lean exclusively.
Before you go anyplace, American Airlines suggests you see a travel agent. He knows where not to go. He knows exact prices, and he'll get the most for your money.
My wife's cousin, by the way, is a deodorant heiress.
Jimmy Thomas again is back, along with Bill Tucker, for Mike Clark's kick. This is Bill Tucker at the 3. He brings it out to the 27-yard line, and the 49ers. And come to think of it, Pat, the 49ers have had to play catch-up football quite a few times this season.
Many times they had to come from behind in the second half, and were able to do it. In fact, the third quarter was their biggest scoring quarter. That's when they were most effective. They got 4 minutes and 18 seconds left now.
Wide right, Witcher. Wide left, Washington. Washington, 33-yard line. I thought he had it.
Well, I did too.
But I guess not. 2nd and 10. I thought for sure he had caught it. But it is 2nd and 10. And now the Cowboys put in the additional defensive back, Mark Washington. 2nd and 10, San Francisco. This is Cunningham. And he's out to the 33-yard line. A gain of 5. It'll be 3rd and 5, San Francisco. And there is Walt Garrison, who caught that touchdown pass from quarterback Craig Morton. The second touchdown that the Cowboys have scored as they lead 17-3. Coming up, 3rd and 5. This is tight end Bob Windsor, and he has a first down at the 45-yard line. Dave Edwards made the tackle.
That's the kind of pass that'll work against that prevent defense, or a defense that someone chooses to play when you're almost sure that the other team is going to pass. Windsor faked the block at the line, and then after everybody else had dropped back deep for Dallas, he just cut across the middle underneath. Awfully hard to throw deep against that defense. Now it's the regular defense for Dallas back.
This time, Brodie has both wide receivers wide to the right side, the open end of the field. This is Willard, and he looked into that sun and he lost the ball. He was all alone, no one within 15 yards of him. And remember, we told you as the sun is very low on the horizon.
Let's take a look at it. Well, you can see the shadows on the field right there. Willard comes out of the backfield, and he is all alone, but he's looking right back into the sun, and I don't think there's any question about the fact that he lost it. I was just noticing secondary men for Dallas shading their eyes before that play started.
Shadows now over about 3/4 of the field. It is a 2nd and 10 now from the San Francisco 45. Nearest the ball was Witcher, but well off target, as Brodie just wanted to get rid of the ball as he's had no receiver open.
We'd like to remind you again that next weekend, Sunday, January the 10th, National Hockey League action returns to the CBS television network every Sunday afternoon throughout the conclusion of the Stanley Cup playoffs. On January the 10th, the Philadelphia Flyers meet the Montreal Canadiens at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and immediately following that game, you'll see a 30-minute special on the 1970 Stanley Cup playoff finals between Boston and St. Louis.
It's a 3rd and 10 for the 49ers. All alone is Windsor. And he has a first down at the 26-yard line. Tight end, Bob Windsor worked his way clear. Look at that one again now.
From the end zone, yes. From Brodie's back. Good protection this time. Windsor got inside the linebacker and behind the other two Dallas linebackers, and got good yardage. The 49ers are getting close.
So now the 49ers are at the 26-yard line of Dallas with 2:28 left to play in the third quarter. Remember, 23 quarters now. The Cowboys have not allowed a touchdown. Almost intercepted by Cornell Green, and then it got away from him, and Bob Windsor almost had it. It all adds up to an incompletion in 2nd and 10. Now Ted Qualick checks in place of Windsor. 10 of 25 for Brodie, 140 yards, 2 interceptions. One by Jordan, one by Renfro. Following those interceptions, did the Cowboys score their touchdowns as they lead 17-3. Witcher to the right, Washington to the left. This is Windsor, touchdown. I said Windsor, I meant Witcher. Witcher for the touchdown.
From behind quarterback John Brodie again. Let's have another look. As Witcher gets open behind Adderley, I believe it is. Behind Cornell Green, and got away from Adderley.
So with 2:18 to play in the third quarter, Brodie will hold for Gossett. And that string of consecutive quarters stops at 23 plus without allowing a touchdown by the Cowboys. Now the score is the Cowboys 17, the 49ers 10. Let's pause for station identification. Repeating.
Old friends Don Knotts and George Goober Lindsay will help launch the new Andy Griffith Show this Friday night on CBS.
Number 46 is the Cowboys' Mark Washington. With him is Cliff Harris. Gossett kicking into a bit of a wind with 2:18 left to play. Tremendous kick. 23-yard line, Washington. To the 23-yard line, he ran into Preston Riley. So now the Cowboys, who have been able to control the ball today to a much greater extent than have the 49ers, will start first and 10 from the Dallas 23-yard line. And limping off the field is the 49ers' Tommy Hart. He's replaced by Stan Heineman, number 80 at defensive left end. There's Hart. Wide right, Rucker. Wing back left is Thomas. Hayes in motion. This is Garrison. To the 25. Making that defensive play was Roland Lakes, Skip Vanderbunt, Frank Nunley.
Not too much doubt. Excuse me,
Pardon
Ray.
me, if I just to say 2-yard gain.
Not too much doubt about what Dallas's strategy will be from here on in. Morton really doesn't like to throw the ball anyway.
The Cowboys on the ground have gained 163 yards, and Thomas has 108 of those yards. 2nd and 8. This is Garrison. And he's out to the 31, where it'll be 3rd and 2. 1:45 left to play, third quarter. Earlier today, the Baltimore Colts defeated the Oakland Raiders to win the American Football Conference title. Third and 2, Dallas from the Cowboy 31. The clock running. Just over a minute left to play now, third quarter. Rucker right, Hayes, a couple of yards split left. This is Duane Thomas. Ball in the air. It's caught by Rucker. And I believe he caught it about a half a yard beyond where the Cowboys needed to go for a first down.
Ball just popped out of Thomas's hand. Here is Thomas, the tailback, the deep back in the Dallas setup. He doesn't have the first down when he's hit. The ball got loose, and that's Rucker standing at the top of your screen. Let's take another look at it now. Rucker is 88. The ball pops right to it. Ooh, that's a big play.
So the Cowboys have a first down at the Dallas 34. Rucker in motion. Here comes Thomas. Around Bruce Taylor. He has a first down out at the 47-yard line. He is absolutely something else. Duane Thomas. Size and speed and moves, he has it all.
I think he gave you an indication right there of how much speed he does have. It looked like Bruce Taylor had a good angle on him, and he just turned it on and got to the outside and got a first down. He is absolutely amazing.
He went out of bounds, and that stopped the clock with 25 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Total rushing yardage now for the Cowboys, 195. The fake was to Thomas. The pass is to Garrison. And he's inside the 20. The ball is ruled to have been dead. A penalty marker is at the 30-yard line of the 49ers. Bob Hayes over, questioning one of the officials.
Just have to guess it's a clipping call against Dallas from their reaction. And there was somebody over there blocking for Garrison.
14 seconds left in the quarter as referee Tommy Bell measures off 15 yards. The foul occurred at the 30. The ball comes back to the San Francisco 45.
Let's take another look. As Morton again faked to Thomas, Garrison gets out in the open. I believe that was Bob Hayes who flashed across your screen and threw what looked like a block on Jimmy Johnson, I think. But the officials, of course, were very close to it.
Now the 49ers have lost, at least for the time being, linebacker Dave Wilcox. That is he limping off the field. So now the linebackers will be Ed Beard, Frank Nunley, and Skip Vanderbunt. Tommy Hart came off limping a while ago. I don't believe he returned since he left the game.
Is it 1st and 3?
It looks like it's a 1st and 3 at the 45-yard line of the 49ers. Rucker goes to the right in motion. This is Duane Thomas. Gained about 2 yards that time. And that undoubtedly was the final play of the third quarter. Oh, we're going to have a timeout for a measurement. 4 seconds left. Duane Thomas slowly getting up, but he's all right. He was just taking a little breather, I think.
Well deserved.
Boy, oh boy, how many times he carried now? 18 times for about 124 yards. Just that short. So it'll be 2nd down and about a foot. The score, 17-10 Cowboys after a 3-3 first half. Brodie's arm was hit as he was passing. Leroy Jordan intercepted. And Dallas had the ball at the San Francisco 13. They went in to score. Thomas scored. Then an interception by Renfro, an interference call at the 5-yard line. Whoop, there's the gun. That's the end of the third quarter. With the score, the Cowboys 17 and the 49ers 10. Let's pause for a moment.
Certain things make you uncontrollably happy. Others leave you quietly pleased. But some provide a richer pleasure, like the satisfaction you get by giving your family basic financial security. Your New York life insurance agent knows a lot about this kind of happiness. Helping people find it is his full-time career. How can life insurance make your family's future happier? Your New York life agent has the answer.
There's a computer company that has designed information systems for over 400 kinds of business. NCR. So NCR won't have to learn your business first, nor promise more than a computer can do. Someday your company will talk to one of the most experienced computer companies you know. Because now you know. NCR means computers.
Shades of the days of 49. The official 49er stagecoach. With Pat Summerall and Jack Whitaker, this is Ray Scott at Kezar Stadium, San Francisco. We're having a measurement here. Not to decide what down it is, but to decide exactly where the ball should be placed. It'll be 2nd and about a foot. With the ball at between the 43 and 44-yard line of San Francisco in Dallas possession. 15 minutes left of football, unless there's a tie. Then we go to sudden death. Craig Morton has been over consulting with Tom Landry and the other Cowboy coaches. Wide right comes Hayes. Wide left goes Rucker. Garrison and Thomas lined up behind Morton. There goes Thomas. Looks like he has a first down at the 42-yard line. 1st and 10, the Cowboys. Total offense now. The Cowboys, 252 yards. They've had it for 53 plays. The 49ers have had it for 43 plays and 222 yards. Now Tommy Hart checks back in that front line. There's Tom Landry, the head coach of the Cowboys. Tommy Hart replaces Heineman at defensive left end for San Francisco. Rucker to the left, working against Taylor. And everybody else at the moment in tight. Hayes in motion. This is Garrison. And he picks up about 5 or 6 yards on first down, and it'll be 2nd and 4. And what a job this Dallas offensive line has done today. Neely, Nyland, Manders, Nye, Wright, and either Norman or Ditka at tight end.
It's been just amazing that they've been able to do to such a great degree what they set out to do, and that was to keep the ball away from San Francisco and control it. Obviously, when you run it as much as they do, you figure to do that. But that was sort of part of their game plan and a very basic part of it.
This is 2nd and 4. Rucker in motion. This is for Hayes. Mel Phillips had it in his hands and couldn't hold it at the 3.
In defense of Phillips, I said earlier that he had hurt his hand last week. You can see he's got it bandaged, and for him to catch any kind of ball would be rather remarkable. He deserves a lot of credit for even playing. But he's right with Hayes, and he's right there all the way. But that right hand, that bandaged hand, would have been the hand that he'd been able or tried to control the football with. It would have been the one on the backside as the ball came into him. And it is heavily bandaged. Excuse me, Ray.
Statistics on Morton, 6 of 20, 80 yards, no interceptions. Well, I'd have to say this is a pretty big down coming up. 3rd and 4. Rucker left, Hayes left. Garrison in motion. Here is Thomas. First down. Fumble. And the Cowboys get it back at the 23-yard line. Number 61, Blaine Nye.
Thomas, of course, had his first down. Here he is, number 33, Hayes in motion. Got his first down, no doubt about it. He got really popped right across where he was carrying the ball. And that's twice Dallas has been able to get a rebound on a fumble like that.
So it's a first down for the Cowboys at the San Francisco 23-yard line. Thomas now has carried 20 times for 135 yards. 12:56 left to play in the game. The Cowboys lead by 7. Garrison. And he's right in front of the goalpost at the 17-yard line after a gain of 6.
Next week, starting Saturday, January the 9th, the 8th annual CBS Golf Classic with $225,000 in prize money gets underway. Players such as Bruce Devlin, Sam Snead, Frank Beard, R.H. Sykes, Bobby Nichols, and Doug Sanders compete in this team best ball match play tournament every Saturday for 16 weeks. The opening match, January the 9th, has Tom Weiskopf and Bert Yancey against Hale Irwin and Howie Johnson.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Garrison to the 16. He got just a yard that time, and here again, a big 3rd down coming up. Dave Wilcox, who left the game limping, comes back in now at a linebacking spot for the 49ers, replacing Jim Snydecki. It's a 3rd and 3 at the 16-yard line. The clock is running. 11:45 left to play.
If I were calling defense, I think I'd start keying on number 33 for Dallas, Duane Thomas, in a situation like this.
This is Thomas, and he does not have a first down. There's a loss of 1, and this means the kicking unit comes in. Mike Clark on 4th and 4. That's one of the very few times today that Thomas, the first time, that Thomas has failed to gain yardage when he carried the ball. There he is. What a day. Duane Thomas, rookie, West Texas State. Dan Reeves holding, 24-yard attempt. Angle from the left for Mike Clark. It is not good. It is wide to the right. And the 49ers have the ball at their 20-yard line with 10:45 left to play. So with the score, the Cowboys 17 and the 49ers 10. Let's pause for a moment.
I'm Ara Parsegian, football coach at Notre Dame. To reach the top in today's game, you've got to be able to execute the option play. Quarterback can run, he can pitch out, or pass. 3 options. A special version of the option play has helped Ford reach the top in wagons. You see, Ford's got this magic door gate, the gate that gives you 3 options. You can open it like a door with the window down, or if it's raining, with the window up. Or open it like a tailgate for picnics or loading gear. And Ford's version of the option play has really proven itself dependable. In fact, over 1 million Ford wagons have been built with magic door gates. The three-way door gate on the 71 Ford Country Squire is just one reason why I believe Ford gives you better ideas.
First and 10, 49ers at the San Francisco 20. Brodie has Washington left and Witcher right. Washington belted out of bounds by Mel Renfro after a gain of 6.5 or 7. And Washington's number is going to be pretty hard to read. There's some mud just outside of the sidelines, and he hit it.
This is a pass that we said earlier would be there almost all day. Washington's so quick, and Brodie can throw the ball so well, it's almost impossible to cover that.
Let's see, Washington now has caught 4 passes for 61 yards. It's 2nd and 3.5. Close to a first down. Ken Willard. Let's see now. Willard has carried the ball 11 times, 35 yards, and he gets a first down at the 30. Pat, I'm going to ask you here to keep reminding me to check the time left, because it's rather important.
I'd say
10 minutes and 12 seconds and the clock running. Remember, there'll be no tie. Sudden death if the 49ers can tie it up. Witcher left, Washington right. This is Witcher. Belted out of bounds by Renfro. First down, 49er 43-yard line.
You know, Washington gets most of the publicity, and deservedly so. Here is Brodie's completion to Witcher, and this is what I was about to say a minute ago. You'll recall that Witcher scored the 49er touchdown, and you'll also recall that against Minnesota last week, it was Witcher who got the clutch touchdown on the pass from Brodie.
Brodie now 13 of 28 for 185 yards. The ball was tipped and was short of Doug Cunningham. A screen was set up with Vanasek and Woody Peoples out in front of Cunningham, but a great rush by the Cowboys. Larry Cole, I believe, got a hand on that ball and tipped it away from Cunningham.
And also Cornell Green, the safety man, was blitzing. Had that been able to work, as we've said about Dallas earlier, that's a perfect call against that kind of defensive maneuver.
So that's the time remaining with a 2nd and 10, San Francisco at the 49er 43-yard line. Washington right side, Witcher left side. Washington. Adderley has him inside the Dallas 45. It's a 49er first down.
I believe something happened to Adderley. I think he might have slipped down as he tried to make the cut to get over with Washington. Look how open he is, though. That's that same square out pass, sideline. You have to respect that man's great speed, Washington's. And when you have a quarterback who can get the ball to him the way Brodie can, well, there's just not really too much you can do about it.
Gene Washington now has grabbed 5 of Brodie's passes for 73 yards. First down, San Francisco at the Dallas 44 with 9 minutes left in the game. Dallas leading by 7. This is for Witcher, and a tremendous play by Renfro.
That's the same pattern that he beat Minnesota with last week, as he tries to get into the crease between these two men. Now watch Renfro stay on the outside. He knows he's got help coming. Turned him around. And he was just hoping that he could catch the crease before Waters could get there. 41.
So Witcher is just now rejoining the huddle. It'll be 2nd and 10, 49ers at the Dallas 44. Tom Landry. How many situations his Dallas team has been in like this? Washington is on the left side now. Willard is inside the 40 at the 39-yard line, and it'll be a 3rd and 5 for the 49ers. Wow, you talk about a succession of third down situations. Here is yet another. 17-10 Dallas broke a 3-3 tie with 2 touchdowns here in the second half. They led 17-3, but then Brodie hit Witcher, and now it's 17-10.
Windsor has been inactive lately. Let's see.
Broken up by Adderley. Intended for Witcher. It's 4th and 5. And the kicker, Bruce Gossett, comes in. He has a following win with 8:13 left.
I was just speculating a minute ago while they ran 3rd and 5 as to what Dick Nolan's choice of plays might be if the 4th down situation did come up, as it has, if he would try to go ahead and get the touchdown and tie it, or if he'd try to take the field goal. This is not going to be an easy one by any means. 46 yards out.
He has the benefit of a following win. It is off to the side. The Cowboys have the ball on the touchback at the Dallas 20-yard line with 8 minutes and 8 seconds left. And with the score, the Dallas Cowboys 17 and the 49ers 10. Let's pause for a moment.
Have you ever flipped a coin? Heads for north, tails for south? Have you ever found yourself in the middle of nowhere with a flat and found out the spare was the same way? Living easy. The Western man is just about the only man on earth who can still know what it's like to live. For almost 40 years we've lived here, brewing the kind of beer that goes with the life of the Western man. The Western man. Living's his life. Lucky's his beer.
We are reminded that last week Duane Thomas carried the ball 30 times for 135 yards. Today he's carried the ball already 21 times for 134 yards. And now it's Dallas from the Dallas 20. 8 minutes, 8 seconds left in the game. Cowboys with a 7-point lead. This is Garrison for 2.5 or 3.
On Sunday, January the 24th, the greatest stars in pro football will meet in the annual AFC-NFC Pro Bowl game at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. That'll mark the first time the American Conference stars will meet the National Conference stars. 7 of these players that we're watching today will be competing in that game. From San Francisco, Gene Washington, John Brodie, Dave Wilcox, and Jimmy Johnson. From Dallas, John Nyland, Bob Lilly, and Mel Renfro. And all of them have certainly been outstanding today.
This is a 2nd and 8 from the Dallas 22. Here's Duane Thomas. And a tremendous play by Mel Phillips. Mel Phillips from the secondary shot through, and it was he who got his arm out and upset the brilliant Thomas. There's a loss of 3, and wow, 3rd down 11, and Belk is replaced by Hardman.
There's the tackle, and a very crucial tackle by Mel Phillips. And you just usually don't take him down with a tackle like that. Great effort by Mel Phillips.
Now let's see if the Cowboys elect to put the ball in the air. The clock running, 6:50 left. 3rd and 11 from the Dallas 19. Rucker left, Hayes right. And a tremendous catch by Rucker. Morton did a fantastic job, and he is down on the ground. Quarterback Craig Morton was hit by Cedric Hardman just as he released that ball. And a tremendous play, Morton to Rucker, but Morton is hurt. There you can see that's Morton holding his right side.
How he ever got rid of that ball, let's take another look. Cedric Hardman is number 86, coming around, and he hits Morton from behind, and Heineman hits him in the ribs almost at the same time, just as he got rid of that ball. You can tell he's in pain, but what a play he made.
Boy, you talk about a clutch play. Morton to the rookie Rucker. And there is Roger Staubach. And now the pressure shifts, apparently, from Morton, who is on his feet now. There's Craig.
You talk about courageous performances. He's had a bad shoulder. He's had a bad elbow. He cut his hand.
He played much of last year with a shoulder separation.
And he's been troubled throughout most of this year with a variety of different injuries. Yet he's hung in there. And although his statistics aren't all that impressive, Dallas is still in the championship game. Here comes Roger Staubach.
So now, Roger Staubach, who played at Navy, second year with the Cowboys. Now, that timeout was an official timeout. The reason? The player injured, Morton, did not stay in the game. Hence, that timeout was not charged to the Cowboys. It's a Cowboy 1st and 10 at the Cowboy 40. 6 minutes, 29 seconds left. And Staubach takes over the offense. Remember now, he's a scrambler. This is Duane Thomas, and a great play behind the line by Charlie Kruger, and Thomas loses 4. But the Cowboys gain about 30 seconds, and here comes Morton back in. Staubach just in for one play. Craig Morton is back in at quarterback on 2nd and 14. But time is so important. Less than 6 minutes in the game. The Cowboys are leading by 7. Bob Hayes lines up to the right. This is Thomas. And he gets it out to the 43-yard line, where it will be 3rd and 7. And Dave Wilcox is very slow in getting up. Belk leaves, Hardman goes in. 3rd, about 7. The clock is running. Oh, there's the time.
Going to be interesting to watch Ralph Neely, the left offensive tackle for Dallas this time, and Cedric Hardman, as he puts the rush on Craig Morton, or tries to. Hardman is 86, Neely is 73.
This is a 3rd and 7. The ball was tipped. It was intended for Rucker. It is 4th and 7. Jimmy Johnson defending, but I do believe that someone got a hand on Morton's pass. I'm not sure, but I think so.
And if you were watching Neely block on Cedric Hardman that time, you know he did a good job. Hardman wasn't close. 49ers are going to get it back now with 4 minutes and 50 seconds.
One of the reasons that the Cowboys are leading today is the fact that they have been able to cover their punts beautifully, or else keep it away from Bruce Taylor. Fair catch. Whitby did a beautiful job getting that high in the air, and the 49ers will have it at their 23-yard line. With a score, the Dallas Cowboys 17 and the San Francisco 49ers 10. Let's pause for a moment.
A man can pile up a roaring appetite this way.
How do you handle a hungry man? The manhandlers.
One of the manhandlers is Campbell's Beef Soup. A sturdy soup with whole grain barley, bites of beef, and lots of vegetables. Mmm, good.
The manhandlers.
Should my boy be a doctor? Or an architect? Or maybe a professor? Whatever he picks, he'll need training. That's where New York Life is helping. This life insurance guarantees my guy will have cash for college. Talk it over with your New York Life agent. It sure makes the future look a lot happier. Right, Professor?
Right.
Remember now, if this game ends in a tie, we go to sudden death. There will be a winner, and needless to say, we'll bring you every bit of it. All right, Gene Washington to the left. Dick Witcher to the right. 1st and 10, 49ers from the San Francisco 23. The catch is made, and a very short gain to the 26. Cunningham tackled immediately by linebacker Chuck Howley. Gain of 3, 2nd and 7. Time left, 4:25. Brodie now getting close to the 200-yard mark. Exactly 200, 15 of 33. Same setup, Washington left, Witcher right. This is a 2nd and 7. This is Kwolek, the tight end, and he's close to a first down at the 33. He's tackled by linebacker Dave Edwards. We're going to have a measurement here. Leroy Jordan, number 55, was in on the play. Now Bob Windsor comes in, tight end for the 49ers. This measurement stops the clock with 3:54 left. Well now, 3rd and a foot. We'll have 2 tight ends in. Remember against the Raiders? 3rd and a foot. He sent Tucker out of the backfield, did John Brodie, and hit him for a touchdown. Not this time. Whoa! I don't know whether he made it or not.
A tremendous charge by the Dallas defense. Now I wonder.
There was a loss.
If they did not make it.
It was a loss on the play. It's 4th and 2 feet. 3:41 left at the San Francisco 32.5-yard line.
This could be the season, this play.
It sure could. Willard behind Brodie. Cunningham to Willard's left. Fourth down. The catch is made for the first down by Dick Witcher. Herb Adderley made the tackle, but a first down by 2 yards at the 35.
Here it is. This is Witcher, and you talk about your gutsy calls. How about this on 4th and 2 with time running out?
And a crunching tackle by Herb Adderley. Less than 3 minutes now remaining in the game. Down goes Brodie. He held on to the ball somehow, but there's a loss of 10 as Bob Lilly was the first to get to him. Now it'll be 2nd and 25 from the 25-yard line with that much time left. One touchdown given up by this Dallas defensive unit in the last 24 quarters plus almost 13 minutes of this quarter. 24 quarters, I should say, plus. Defending was Jordan. Intended receiver was Kwolek. It'll be 3rd and 20 with 2:27 left. And all of the skill and experience of now 14 years in the National Football League in the person of John Brodie, and if ever a man had to come up with something. Now, D.D. Lewis comes in. Tom Stinsick comes in. Mark Washington comes in. Defensive changes for Dallas on 3rd and 20.
And against this defense, there is Tom Landry. And I've heard it said he's not emotional. What do you think?
From the San Francisco 25, Gene Washington made the catch. It is not a first down. It'll be 4th and 7 from the 38 with 2:15 left. And let's see. We have a timeout.
Here's Washington getting the double coverage. Mark Washington cut him down, in fact, at the line of scrimmage. That's some effort to get up and make a reception like that. Brodie is checking with his coaches on the sideline about what this play should be. And in a situation like this, 4th and 7, boy, you'd welcome all the help and all the advice you could possibly get from anybody.
John Brodie, 18 of 37, 221 yards. While this huddle is going on this side of the field, Gene Washington has caught 6 of those passes for 85. Meanwhile, Tom Landry on the other side of the field. Now that's Reggie Rucker he's talking with, the fine young wide receiver. Well, John Brodie's back in the 49er huddle. And in a moment, we'll know what Dick Nolan and his staff have decided on 4th and 7 from the San Francisco 38 with 2 minutes and 15 seconds left, and the Cowboys leading 17-10. Incomplete at the 49-yard line. The intended receiver was Kenny Willard. And there is the veteran and great running back. I think he had his hands on it. I know he was hit. It was incomplete. And the Dallas defense has turned the ball over to the offense at the 49er 39-yard line with 2 minutes and 10 seconds left in the game. So 2 minutes and 10 seconds away is that long cherished dream for the Dallas Cowboys. Hayes to the right. Rucker behind Morton. This is Duane Thomas. And he gets it down to the 37-yard line. And we're going to have the notification in a second or so. Right here, I believe. Yes, 2 minutes left. With a score, Cowboys 17, 49ers 10. Let's pause for a moment.
The minute you walked in the joint, I could see you were a man of distinction, a real big spender, good looking, so refined. I figured that you're the Muriel cigar smoking kind, so let me get right to the point. You're right in style when you're in Muriel's company. Hey, big spender, spend a little dime with me. I said spend a little dime with me.
Muriel Magnum, Coronas, and Panatella Extra. Join the Muriel Mild crowd. Pick one up and smoke it sometime.
Dallas total offense, 301 yards, 69 plays. Breaking it down, Duane Thomas, 137 yards on the ground on 25 carries. Walt Garrison, 14 carries, 61 yards. It's 2nd and 8 Dallas at the San Francisco 37. Rucker coming in motion. This is Garrison. And he is collared by Taylor only after Garrison is down to the 20-yard line, and that is another Dallas first down. So Walt Garrison makes a big play.
A good cut by Garrison, a good block by Rayfield Wright, and the rest of the Dallas offensive line. Jimmy Johnson chasing, and that was Hayes that threw that block right there that sprung him before Taylor could get him down. San Francisco has taken one of their timeouts. Morton visits the Dallas sideline to talk with Tom Landry.
So it's 1st and 10, the Dallas Cowboys at the San Francisco 20-yard line with 1 minute and 46 seconds left to play in the game. And the Dallas Cowboys on the verge of winning the National Football Conference title and earning the right to meet the Baltimore Colts, who earlier today defeated the...
This is jam-packed Kezar Stadium in San Francisco, where on January 3rd, the 49ers met the Cowboys in the NFC Championship. This game has been a long time coming for the citizens of the Golden Gate, for this is the first NFL championship in the 25-year history of the team. The 49ers had just completed their greatest season with a resounding thrashing of the feared Minnesota Vikings, and their fans flocked to this final game at ancient Kezar. The weather was representative of the best California can offer, and 59,800 feverish spectators paid tribute to the excitement and success that were the San Francisco 49ers of 1970. The Californians had a lot to cheer about, for their team was one of the big surprises in the world of sport. San Francisco was the sudden, unexpected successor to such Western powers as the Vikings, Rams, and Packers. Dick Nolan, who today coached against his old mentor Tom Landry, has brought some new faces to San Francisco. One is number 44, Rookie of the Year candidate Bruce Taylor, who has all-pro potential at cornerback. Another is number 25, 10-year veteran Roosevelt Taylor, who has provided leadership. But old faces are important too, and none more so than the NFC Player of the Year, John Brodie. The 35-year-old quarterback had a brilliant season. One of the reasons for his success was the 49er offensive line. They led the entire NFL in protecting their passer. Brodie was dumped only 8 times all year. This was a new NFL record. While the 49ers seem to be a complete team, their opponents, the Dallas Cowboys, have earned entry to their 3rd championship game despite a definite lack of passing. It's been a great running attack and an amazing defense that has won for Dallas. Opponents have been held without a touchdown for 21 consecutive quarters. Tom Landry, the only coach Dallas has had in its 11-year history, knows that to win today, the defense must sustain a super effort and rely on an undisguised running attack for points on offense. So that was the situation in old Kezar Stadium, which in past years had been better known as a home for seagulls than championship football teams. But on its field today was the last act before the Super Bowl number 5, a tournament to decide in 60 minutes what has taken more than 15 weeks to accomplish. I'm Pat Summerall, and this is the NFL Game of the Week. The Dallas Cowboys versus the San Francisco 49ers in the NFC Championship. The entire first half belonged to the defenses of both teams. Though Dallas ran well, they were stopped in every key situation. The 49er defense that was stopping them was a familiar one. Dick Nolan was Tom Landry's defensive assistant at Dallas before coming to the West Coast, so there is a generic sameness about both defensive squads. Dallas has its doomsday defense, and the 49ers have their gold rushers, led by number 70, 12-year veteran Charlie Kruger. Besides Kruger, there are 7 other gold rushers, and all have seen considerable duty. San Francisco is unique in alternating so many players on its line, but the results have been superb, especially against the pass. Craig Morton was hurried and hammered each time he attempted to throw. In the first half, he completed only 3 passes for a lowly 29 yards. On one of the few times Morton wasn't pressured by the San Francisco front 4, he missed a golden opportunity. Reserve defensive back Johnny Fuller was in the game for 1 play and was badly beaten by Bob Hayes, but Morton overthrew him. It wasn't all Morton's fault, however. Several times he threw perfectly to his receivers, but they betrayed him. The most damaging was a first quarter pass over the middle to Reggie Rucker, who had clear sailing ahead. But luckily for the Dallas offense, their defense was holding San Francisco to very little yardage. The 49ers weren't expected to run on the Cowboys, and they didn't. But John Brodie was expected to throw against Dallas, and he couldn't. The Cowboys secondary was all over Brodie's receivers. On the few occasions that they got open, he failed to hit them. One example of this came late in the second quarter when All-Pro Gene Washington got behind Mel Renfro and just barely missed connections. With Washington's speed, a completion here would have meant a certain score, either a touchdown or a field goal, since he was deep in Dallas territory. Another look at this key play shows a blitz by number 54, Chuck Howley, caused Brodie to unload quickly. Dallas used the blitz to perfection today, employing the speedy Howley or safety Cornell Green on the tactic. Like his counterpart on the Cowboys, the 49er quarterback disappointed with his inaccuracy during the first half and failed to hit his receivers the few times they got open. Only once did Brodie put it all together. On the second series of the first quarter, he passed to Ken Willard on a swing. The 49er fullback followed number 79, tackled Cass Banaszak for 12 yards, and the first down of the game for San Francisco. Then with 1st and 10 on his 48, Brodie went for the bomb and got it. Gene Washington caught the ball on the 15 and fell forward to the 10. The play covered 42 yards. A repeat of this play from the ground level shows Washington, number 18, simply streaked by his defender, number 26, Herb Adderley, and was a good 4 steps in front of him when he caught the ball. Washington, with his speed, should have scored. Another look at the play reveals why he didn't. Brodie was rushed by number 74, Bob Lilly. Washington had to hold up slightly for the ball and had to look back from the shadows into the sun. This may have been the most critical play of the entire game because the 49ers couldn't get in for the touchdown. Ken Willard was smashed to the ground by Lilly and Jethro Pugh, and on 3rd down, number 34, Cornell Green blitzed Brodie, causing his pass to fall incomplete. Willard was the intended receiver, and he had an angle on linebacker Dave Edwards. It was Brodie's strategy to isolate Willard on the slower Edwards rather than the right linebacker Chuck Howley, who is faster. Bruce Gossett's chip shot field goal was good, and San Francisco led 3-0, but a golden opportunity had been missed. On the very next series, Dallas began to move for the first time, and there was nothing deceptive about the way they did it. They ran right at the 49er defense and succeeded. The Cowboy offensive line cleared huge gaping holes for Duane Thomas and number 42, Claxton Welch. It was a vivid example of how the Dallas offense has been transformed from one that depended upon finesse to an attack that simply outmuscles the opposition. Landry has admitted his team is, for the first time, a physically strong team. Despite the display of power, the San Francisco defense again made the big play when they needed it most. On 3rd down, Morton's sideline pass to Hayes was broken up by Mel Phillips. A repeat shows that Phillips was beaten but made a diving save. If he had missed, the speedy Hayes might have gone the distance. Mike Clark tried a field goal from the 40-yard line, but it was short. San Francisco held on to their slim 3-point lead. Late in the second quarter, however, Dallas began another long drive. Number 32, Walt Garrison, had returned to the lineup, and his blocking cleared the way for Duane Thomas, the sensational rookie from West Texas State. Some people think the Cowboys used psychology to pick Thomas number 1 because of their low order in the draft. Many clubs passed him up despite his obvious ability because reports that he was moody and unresponsive had filtered out of Texas. Someone was wrong somewhere, for all Thomas had done in his first season was to put Calvin Hill on the bench and rank 5th in the conference in running. And he didn't start until the 5th game of the season. Despite Thomas' heroics, a 3rd down look-in pass to Mike Ditka was stopped short by number 25, Rosie Taylor. Dallas was forced to go for the field goal instead of the touchdown. This time, Mike Clark was accurate, and Dallas had finally scored. So the first half, a half which saw two very hot defenses and two very cold quarterbacks, ended with a 3-3 stalemate. With the game tied 3-3, Coach Nolan and the 49ers came out for the second half determined to contain Dallas' strength. But Dallas, surprisingly, came out passing to open the half. Their strategy was clever, but the play failed. On a repeat, watch Morton fake to Duane Thomas, hoping to suck in the 49er defenders. Although Bruce Taylor, number 44, was fooled for a second, Rosie Taylor was not, and the 49ers free safety made a perfectly timed tackle on Morton's intended receiver, Bob Hayes. Tom Landry called for another pass on third down, but this too failed as Charlie Kruger got to Morton with a back-snapping tackle. A quick whistle saved an apparent fumble, but Dallas had to punt anyway. One of the keys of the game was the ability of the Cowboys bomb squad to prevent long punt returns by Bruce Taylor, and they did so here. Then came what Tom Landry deemed to be the key series of the game. Brodie was first dropped by blitzing Dave Edwards on first down to set up a 2nd and 17, forcing Brodie into another passing situation. Pressured heavily by Larry Cole, his pass went for Willard in the middle, but linebacker Leroy Jordan had his area perfectly covered, timed it beautifully, and intercepted the ball. Later, Brodie said he was actually trying to throw away the pass. From here, it took Morton's offense one play to go into the lead. Duane Thomas started right, cut left, broke a few tackles, and went into the end zone. On a repeat, watch the Cowboys' right guard, number 61, Blaine Nye, screen his man out, opening a hole for Thomas to cut back through, as the Cowboys' offensive line was truly superb and deserves much of the credit for Dallas' fantastic comeback this season. Repeating the score from yet another angle, watch number 57, Frank Nunley, follow the flow of the play to his left, then be fooled by Thomas' quick cutback against the grain. Thomas then broke attempted tackles by number 52, linebacker Skip Vanderbunt, and number 37, Jimmy Johnson, on his way to the biggest touchdown in his short career, a touchdown that gave Dallas a 10-3 lead. Brodie tried to lead his team downfield, again going up top almost exclusively. But he went to the well once too often and got stung. First faking to his back, he went for Gene Washington long. But All-Pro Mel Renfro was right with Washington and made a brilliant leaping interception to stop another frustrating 49er series. On a repeat of this key play, Brodie's fake was a good one. But Renfro is perhaps the best man-for-man cornerback in football, and he was not fooled. Renfro, Green, Adderley, and Waters, 3 All-Pros and a rookie, make up this secondary that had denied Brodie the bomb and set up the Cowboys' offense again. This time, Coach Landry called on Walt Garrison to handle his ground game. Garrison had been all but forgotten in the urgency to stop Duane Thomas, and Landry's use of Garrison was truly brilliant. Every time the 49ers keyed on Thomas, Landry would call for a draw or a screen to Garrison, and the steady 5-year man from Oklahoma State came through with flying colors. A repeat of this play will show Garrison's flawless execution. Watch Garrison on your left as he screen blocks the blitzing linebacker, then drifts into his area, takes the pass, and rambles 23 yards into 49er territory. From here, the Cowboys got a big break when Mel Phillips was called for pass interference at the 49er 5. Then it was Garrison again, this time swinging out of the backfield uncovered as one of Morton's infrequent passes hit Garrison for the score. On a repeat, watch Morton's fake to Thomas completely fool the 49er defense, who were so anxious to stop Thomas they over-pursued the play, leaving Garrison wide open. Coach Landry was calling the best game of the 7 he had called this year, and the Cowboys were executing his plays like a machine. Cowboys 17, 49ers 3. Ahead by 2 touchdowns, the Cowboys defense was in deep zone coverage now, giving Brodie the short stuff over the middle. Brodie took it. The drive was interrupted when Ken Willard was blinded by the sun and dropped a sure long gainer. But Brodie cleverly called for a pass into the sun again, and tight end Bob Windsor held on and went to the Cowboys 26. Two plays later, Brodie sent Dick Witcher deep and hit him for a touchdown. On a repeat, watch number 75, Jethro Pugh, as he was taken out by Woody Peoples. Brodie then had to clear Bob Lilly's outstretched arms, and did. Witcher, who had run a post corner pattern beating Herb Adderley, was all alone when the ball arrived. In a sudden spurt of success, John Brodie had the 49ers right back in the game, 17-10, as Dallas had given up its first touchdown in 24 quarters. The next Dallas drive was perhaps the most frustrating of them all for the 49ers, even though it would not end in a score. First, Duane Thomas' fumble popped right into the hands of teammate Reggie Rucker for a first down. Then Thomas' deceptive speed became apparent to everyone, especially to number 44, Bruce Taylor, as Thomas beat him around end for another first down. This streak was interrupted for one play when a Morton to Garrison pass for 36 yards deep into 49er territory was called back due to a clipping penalty as the third quarter ended. But then the 49er streak of bad luck continued to bloom. Mel Phillips played a Morton to Hayes bomb perfectly, but dropped it. Then Thomas, on 3rd and 4, again fumbled after getting the first, but again the Cowboys recovered. 3 times the 49ers had a 50-50 shot at the ball on this drive, and 3 times they lost. However, all was not lost as Thomas was stopped short of a first on 3rd and 3 from the 16, forcing a field goal attempt from the 24 by Mike Clark. Clark missed, and San Francisco had the ball with 11 minutes to play. Brodie stuck to his short passing game to try and tie the score, and he started by hitting Witcher. On an isolated replay, we can see that unlike the first half, Brodie had all the time he needed and was in good form. But from here, the attack bogged down. Every time Brodie tried to go for the bomb, he was stifled by the magnificent efforts of one Mel Renfro, number 20. This brought up a 4th and 5 on the Cowboys' 40. Since 8 minutes remained, Nolan went for 3 points instead of 7. But Gossett missed from the 47. With the way Dallas could control the ball, Brodie would not have many chances left. With 7 minutes left to play and ahead by 7, Dallas did try to control the ball and the clock. But the 49er defense did not give in easily, and Mel Phillips' great individual effort set up a 3rd and 11. Needing this first down badly, Landry called for a pass, and Morton hit Rucker on one of the best and biggest passes of his career to keep the drive going. On a repeat of this important play, we can see what happened to Morton. Caught between the devil and the deep blue sea, otherwise known as Hardman and Hindman, Morton was hurt badly. But Craig Morton's career had been a history of injuries. Injuries with which he had played and played well. He came back 2 plays later and gamely tried to pass for another first down. But with his ribs and chest hurt, he was way off and the Cowboys had to punt. Ron Whitby made sure Bruce Taylor didn't return his kick by putting it high into the O-zone. Another bit of strategy executed flawlessly by Whitby and the bomb squad. So with 4 minutes left, Brodie had another shot at the Cowboys. But after picking up 1 first down, he was dumped by Andre and Lilly for a 9-yard loss, setting up 3rd and 19. The Cowboys were in a prevent, so Brodie split the seams of the zone and hit Gene Washington, but was 6 yards short. It was now 4th and 7. Brodie faded back and went short over the middle to his setback. But the pass was broken up, and the 49ers had to give it up for the last time this season. This play, of course, deserves a repeat, if only because it was perhaps the biggest defensive play in Dallas' 11-year history. It was fitting, then, that the pass be broken up by linebackers Edwards and Jordan. For the quick and aggressive Cowboy backers are the heart of the Landry defense, and they have made the big plays all year. With 2 minutes to play, John Brodie could only stand and watch as Dallas began to run down the clock. They ran it down to 17 seconds and smartly took a delay of the game penalty, but they couldn't run it out. So with 5 seconds left, John Brodie had one last gasp for his team, his town, and his title. He tried valiantly, but time, the Grim Reaper, finally ran out on the San Francisco 49ers, who must wait till next year. For the Dallas Cowboys, it was yet another chapter in their storybook climb to glory. And Coach Tom Landry, the much maligned head of his team, happily left Kezar Stadium knowing that he indeed had the last laugh at his critics, who said you can't win calling plays from the sidelines. Landry has found that by parlaying a tenacious defense with an unstoppable running attack, he could overcome any deficiency, while somehow keeping the emotional tenor of his team a confident winning one that has brought Dallas its first championship, and one that could bring the Cowboys an even bigger trophy called the Super Bowl. If he can do it for one more game, Landry will have resurrected his team from its mid-season grave to become pro football's world champion, an impossible dream come true.